Jet Nation, GreenBean is back with you. I am sorry for the hiatus, but I have something to talk to you about. It's been real quiet on the Jamal Adams front lately. Why is that? When we come back. All right, Jet Nation, don't forget to like and subscribe the videos that we're putting out there for you. If you have something to say, by all means, give us a comment. I just love chatting with you. Anybody who hangs out in our either Jet Nation forum or on the YouTube channel knows that I pretty much comment and reply to every single comment on there. It's maddening how much I respond to it, but I'm happy to do it. I love talking to you guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications and all that jazz. But let's get right into it. Jamal Adams. For weeks, it was like mayhem and madness. Every 2 hours, it seemed, there was some new tweet, there was some new Instagram post, there was some new article about Jamal Adams and his unhappiness with the Jets, where he wanted to get traded to. And we already talked about all that stuff. You know that my particular take is that he's not getting traded. That's my take. That's how I see it. But interestingly, it has been very quiet. And during that time, a few things have happened. So what does it all mean? So let's get right into it. First thing that happened is on Hot 97, our running back, Le'Veon Bell, does an interview and he gets asked about Jamal Adams and he says some stuff which most players actually take the high road and they don't say anything about guys' contract demands and all that sort of thing. But Bell actually went as far as to say he thinks Jamal Adams wants to be in New York and that he just wants to get paid. He's in the same situation that Bell was in a couple years ago, and he said that he spoke to him and Jamal Adams just wants to get paid. If he gets paid, all is well, and he loves the Jets and wants to be here and all that sort of stuff. That is a significant change from Jamal Adams a couple weeks earlier driving his Escalade or whatever that was, his SUV, and somebody says, "Hey, come on to Dallas." And he says, "I'm trying, bro." It's a little bit of a change. Now, we can't say Le'Veon Bell is actually speaking for him, but it does seem interesting. Right on the heels of a conversation with Jamal Adams, Lev Bell actually comes out and says he spoke to him and Adams wants to be a Jet. He just wants to get paid. The same day, or within a 24-hour period, out of nowhere, Avery Williamson is getting interviewed, and he says that he thinks Jamal Adams will be a Jet as well. He wasn't quite as boastful, but he did say it, and he said that he understands and he just wants to get paid and all that. Why is it that within a 24-hour period, two prominent Jets players come out and say that Jamal Adams wants to be a Jet, they want him to be a Jet, all is well in the locker room, all that kind of stuff? They came out of nowhere and said these things. And Jamal Adams hasn't said a single thing in response. Now, if he didn't want to be a Jet, you know Jamal Adams, he'd probably be saying something like, "Hey, don't speak for me," or something. He'd be saying something. But we haven't seen anything. Now, in the meantime, Jamal Adams has been unfriending or blocking some other Jets content creators, namely Matt O'Leary, and some others I've seen that Jamal Adams has been blocking that were kind of calling him out on his baloney. So there's that going on too. But what is it? What does it mean? So here's my take on it. This is GreenBean's hot take on what it all means, Jet Nation. It means that the strategy didn't work. Now, remember when we were kids? When I was a kid, I can't speak for you, of course, but maybe you can relate. When I was a kid and I wanted something, when I was really young, one of my go-tos was, if my parents weren't going to let me have something that I wanted or take me to the roller skating rink or whatever it was that I wanted to do, I would go, "I'm going to kill myself." And I go, and my parents would go, "Okay, go ahead. Hold your breath till you die." And what would happen? I'd have to breathe because the strategy doesn't work. Then as I got older in my pre-teen years, maybe even dipping into my teen years, I would run away. I would run away. I'd run out of the house, and I'd be all angry and revved up, and my sisters would go, "No, don't let him go." My little sisters and all that. I would really play on the sympathies and all that sort of stuff. My parents would say, "Good, go, goodbye." And what would I have to do? I'd have to leave the house, and my anger would burn off, and I'd have to come back. I'd have to figure out the strategy on re-entrance into the family unit, because guess what? I was hungry, it's cold. Those old, cartoons with the guy with the stick and the handkerchief, and I didn't even have that. So you try these strategies, you try to make people, you push them, and they call your bluff. And what are you left with when you really have no leverage? A young kid holding his breath? What are you going to do? You can't hold his breath. You can't do it. A young kid running away? Well, in my instance, I wasn't going anywhere. My parents knew that. So they just let it happen. They waited it out because I had no leverage. I had nothing to stand on except trying to get them emotional so they could sympathize with me, and then we could have a discussion on that plane where I gained a higher footing. But when it doesn't work, you got to eat the shit sandwich. Oops. You got to eat the humble pie. Sorry. Humble pie sounds better than shit sandwich, doesn't it? If I'm going to choose one. But anyway, you eat the slice of humble pie, and you come back into the house, and hopefully all is forgotten. That's what I think is happening here. Now, that's not to say that Jamal Adams wants to be a Jet or whatever. He has no leverage. He has nothing to stand on except trying to get the fan base to put pressure on the Jets organization so they feel motivated to pay him, or get him out of town into one of the top 8 teams in the league, where he wants to go to the winners. So that would be enough to not get paid, or whatever that meant. It didn't work. Jamal has quieted down, and now Jet players are coming forward saying, no, it's not a big deal. We know it's not a big deal. Jamal wants to be a Jet. We all talked to him. All is well. It didn't work, Jet Nation. So now we're back to seeing what Joe Douglas wants to do with it. We had it heating up in San Francisco. Now we have Seattle and San Francisco in a potential bidding war for Jamal Adams and his services. It's all baloney. Everything that we're hearing is baloney. I saw an article just this morning. It said Dallas has zero interest in trading for Jamal. Maybe he should have him and his agent should have discussed that before they made such a push. They should have seen what Dallas's ideas were, because it turns out that they don't really, not to say they don't want him, but they can't. They just paid Amari Cooper. They got Dak Prescott going on. They just paid Zeke. They can't pay Jamal Adams down. It's not realistic. Plus, they're going to give us 2 firsts or a first in Leo Collins or anything. It's not happening, okay? So the good news is the strategy didn't work. The Jets still hold the leverage. I saw a lot of my Jets fan brethren freaking out. They were freaking out. They were calling Joe Douglas a scrub, or they were saying the Jets can't have nice things or whatever, and I understand all of it. I'm getting a little tired of Jamal myself, so I get it. But we have a GM who did not even speak on the matter. Nothing. He let it all burn out. Jamal Adams went round and round on the Twitter sphere and the Instagram world and Facebook and everything else, and nobody was even talking to him. It was just Jets fans and Jamal Adams, and then Dallas fans and Buffalo fans and whoever else. But the Jets didn't even make comment. Other than Gregg Williams came out and said, "Yeah, I support him." Adam Gase says, we love Jamal Adams. So it didn't work. That's what we see. Now, what do you think of the Myles Garrett contract? Does that give Jamal Adams leverage, you think? I saw somebody say that. They said, now that Myles Garrett got his $25 million a year contract, that puts the pressure on the Jets. Does it? It might have put pressure on the old Jets GMs, I think, for sure. McCagnon, even Tanny. Those guys could feel that sort of pressure. Joe Douglas doesn't care. That's my impression of this guy. He does not care. He has his established value. He has his plan, and that's what's going to happen. He has all the cards. He has no pressure. And Jamal Adams' strategy Did not work, Jet Nation. So be grateful, be upset. You want to see him traded, whatever it is, just know this. It didn't work, and everything's settling down. The world got tired of that Jamal Adams story. We burned it out, and nothing has changed. So that's what's going on. The Myles Garrett contract means nothing to Joe Douglas, just like the Christian McCaffrey contract meant nothing to Joe Douglas. Doesn't mean anything. Who the hell's the GM? Who the Cleveland Browns? Who are they? We're going to model our team after the Cleveland Browns and what they do? I don't think so. I don't think so. Joe Douglas is modeling his team after the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles and even a little bit of the Indianapolis Colts. All of them have won Super Bowls in recent memory. That's who we're going to be. We're not going to be the friggin' Cleveland Browns or even the Carolina Panthers for that matter. Don't worry about it. Jamal Adams isn't going anywhere, and if he does, Joe Douglas is going to get every drop of value that he wants. If not, we got Jamal Adams for 2, 3, even potentially 4 more years, including the 2 franchise tags. Don't worry about anything. If Joe Douglas wants Jamal Adams will be in camp. That's that. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And have a great day, and go Jets, Jet Nation!